Also on the campaign trail, then-candidate Donald Trump visited Detroit in an effort to reach out to African-American voters, switching gears. Visiting with business and church leaders, his trip was not without controversy. You may remember this back in September. Protesters who felt the candidate was racist greeted the candidate at some of his stops and obviously disrupted his visits. But Bishop Wayne Jackson of Great Faith Ministries International welcomed then-candidate Trump into his congregation, as well as the Impact Network. He owns it. It's the world's largest African-American owned and operated Christian TV network, which the now president appeared on. I had a chance to speak with him about the very memorable encounter. Bishop, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
I appreciate it. The president was here, if I'm not mistaken. He was here in September. He spoke to a packed crowd behind us. What was the reception like when he was here, and then also after he left?
Well, September the 3rd, he was candidate Trump at that time. He came to be interviewed by myself. I have a network called Impact Television Network, and the president came to be interviewed by myself, and after that he came into the church to enjoy our worship service. The reception was good. I was very surprised how people of color welcomed him, because when you sit down with the president at that time, candidate Trump, when you meet him on one-on-one, it's a very different persona that you see contrary to television.
And it's still early in his presidency, obviously, but there were promises, if I'm not mistaken, when we heard him speak, and requests from your community as well. Do you feel like that bridge is coming together, those needs are being met, or is it just still too early in the game?
Well, I believe that, we just passed 100 days, and a lot of things are going on in Washington, and I think that we need to give him a break and give him a chance to do what he says he's going to do. Now, certainly the community is waiting. I'm waiting, and a lot of us are waiting to see what's going to happen in Detroit, because there's been a lot of promises. Even in the inaugural speech, he mentioned Detroit, and he stood in front of his congregation, and he also made promises that he wants to do something in the urban community. When we look at this situation in the urban community, we're faced with so many things. We're faced with lack of jobs, unemployment. That's what our prayer is. Our prayer is that the money can come from Democrats, Republicans, but we want it done. We want safe streets.
You had a big event in January, if you will, and you spoke at the inauguration. What was that like for you? I can't leave without asking you that.
Well, it was intimidating.
It was?
It was intimidating.
But you did great.
Well, you had thank you. Well, you had the former president, Barack Obama, you had Biden, you had Bush, you had Cheney, and you had Clinton. It was so many different former presidents. Then you had the Supreme Court justices. I mean, it was just so many people. All the lawmakers was up there, and the whole world watching you. And so it was intimidating, but, God brought me through it.
And it was a moment in history, that's for sure.
Yes, yes.
Bishop, thank you so much for having us here. We appreciate it. We love being here in the city.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.